Hello, Wagwas, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Shiki here, tired as ever, just waking up from a nap, right? But today I'm going to be showing you guys my brow routine, so let's hop right into the video. First things first, you're just going to want to start off by brushing all of your hairs up and out of the way. This is just to make sure that you don't, put Nair in the middle of your brows or anything, because it will come off. This is my holy grail when it comes to doing my brows. I've tried it all and I've hated it. I love this though. So starting off, I like to start off with just a dot in like the middle-ish area of my eyelid, and then I kind of use that to spread a super thin layer of the product, just focusing on making a super clean line, right? So I go in, make a really clean line. Afterward is when I come back with a little bit more product to thicken that up, because Nair needs like a, not a super thick like layer of product, but like just moderately enough that it covers all the hairs completely, right? So you're gonna want to start off, get your line super crisp. I cannot stress this enough. We only do crisp lines over here, okay? So like I said, once you get done with making that crisp line, come back through with a second dot of product and thicken that baby up, okay? It should be sort of opaque to the point where you can't see too much of your skin underneath, but it has to be to the point where at least all of your hairs that you're trying to take off are completely covered. You want to really take your time with this as well, because if you kind of mess up, it's kind of done for. I done had a lot of mistakes, so take your time, please. I moved on to my second brow, just doing the thing, literally doing the exact same thing on this brow. Be very careful not to get anything in your eyelashes, by the way. If you do get anything anywhere else, stop immediately and just take like a wet washcloth and wipe it off. This here is a little trick I do just to make sure I keep my eyebrows on the same level, because I had some mistakes where my brows were like 2 inches on my forehead and the other one is like 8 inches by my lip, okay? So try to keep them even. So we're repeating the same moves we did for the bottom. We're doing the same thing for the top. Brush your hairs down. Start off with a thin bead. I feel like a nail tech. Start off with a little thin bead and spread that across evenly, making your main focus at the first appliance to just make sure you get like a really crisp line. Then you're gonna follow up, thicken that up, make sure you get everything covered. Now, one thing about Nair is that if you haven't done your brows for a while, your hairs can kind of thicken back up in a sense, right? So for example, with this middle area, I've always had kind of like really thick hairs that grow there. It's never been nothing crazy, but they grow. And I noticed that after a while of using Nair, they got really thin and they were really easy as long as I was consistent, So once you stop using Nair, it can kind of stop working for your hairs for a little bit, right? It's been a minute since I cleaned mine up, so I went back in with just a little bit more. Whoa, what? I went back in with a little bit more product, making sure that everything was covered, because I really thought I was going to get this on the first try. That was a flop, right? This is how it should look once you are done, cleaning everything up. So after you do this, you're gonna want to make your washcloth warm, because I made mine like I just wet it, but it should be warm just so it's like caramel on your face. So take that and gently wipe off. You want to make sure you get off all the product. Don't leave no Nair sitting in your brows until you get to wash your face, okay? So really wipe that good. Now my right brow looks kind of good, but that left brow, I don't know what it was, but sis had beef with me, okay? Like she wanted 4 or 5 applications and I could not do it. So I noticed I had some little stray hairs. I went back in again and just hit those bottom areas one more time to make sure that they were super duper clean. I went back in with a little bit more product just to make sure it was thick again, because I got pissed. Wiped it off again. My right brow looks wavy. You can see my little satisfaction happy nine, right? And still my left brow was trying to act a little crazy. So I brushed it up one more time and decided to go in with a pair of tweezers. I never really go above 2 applications with Nair just because my skin is sensitive and this product is very strong. So I don't recommend, using this more than 2 times in one sitting. For this next part, I'm just going to trim down the tops of my brows. So I brush all my hairs up again. And I'm going to take a regular pair of little house scissors. These are like my sewing scissors that I used to cut fabric with. I use those and I just snip off the little, like the very top of the hair. What this does is makes your brows a little bit more manageable, a little bit more calm. They take away that kind of overgrown look they get after a little while. I just wanted a reset, so I decided to do this one. Please don't do this and watch TV like I did, because I definitely did mess up one of my brows. At this point, you definitely want to go wash your face. Again, remember you have Nair on your face, and that's not a super good thing to have on your face just sitting there. I decided to go in with a pair of tweezers just to clean up the top, all those little tiny hairs. Nair can kind of be picky with those too, so you may have to go back in and kind of, either you can use an eyebrow razor. I used to do that, but I didn't like the abrasiveness that it had right after the Nair, so I switched to tweezers. And I'm just taking out those little tiny fur-like hairs or whatever that usually kind of just sit up there and whatnot. Now I'm just going to brush through my brows one last time to make sure that they're good. I like the front of my brows a little bushy. I don't know why. But yeah, you're just going to want to play around and you're done. We have finished this. Like, tell me this wasn't the quickest brow routine you ever had. This is how you should look. And thank you guys so much for watching my video. Peace.